like at Oshkosh, and they do an American timeline. So I demonstrate all the uniforms, all the periods, and I have them contrasted with American history and with Adventist heritage. So like, for an example, people can see that when we had the Sabbath conferences in 1846 to 1848, that was the same years as the Mexican War.
Very well. That's very cool that you're doing that. That's
all
wonderful.
The uniforms, all the periods, and I have them.
Oh, okay. So we have, okay, good. So welcome everybody. Welcome to our Med Missionary Thursday evening broadcast. And today we wanted to open this up to our YouTube channel as well. We wanted to open this up to the public because we wanted to let people know what type of things that we do here on Med Missionary. And for those of you who don't know, Med Missionary is a 6-week program that we take you through 6 weeks of learning how to soak and sprout and do other things outside of diet, like natural remedies and drinks and juicing and this kind of thing. And also how to take a health evaluation if you wanted to help somebody doing medical missionary work or coaching or this type of thing. And so I'm just curious here, amongst the viewers that we have here, are there any people who are actively doing some health coaching, doing some very intentional medical missionary work? What are you doing with the information that you've gotten? If you want to raise your hand and let us know, put it into the chat. I'm very curious. Mercy, did you have anything that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I'm just very happy that everybody's joining. More and more people are joining. And also that, today we announced it that this is questions and answers for natural remedies. So we're very excited to answer whatever you have in mind, whatever you are thinking to ask us. So, but maybe we can start with a word of prayer.
Very good. Do you want to pray for us?
Yeah, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this day, for this opportunity to do an open house. And we just want to ask your presence. I want to ask you that everybody get an answer that is going to be effective for whatever condition they're having. And I just want to ask you that you lead us and we be only your instruments. Thank you for everything in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. So I don't know how you all are doing, but we're getting into fall pretty soon. And from some loved ones, I ended up getting sick last week, and I had a very high temperature, almost 103 for a day, and then it just kept coming down. So I had an opportunity to put into practice some of these remedies. Fortunately, I stayed home. I canceled my surgeries, and I did the hot and cold showers. I did the onion broth. I did the turmeric tea. I laid outside in the sunshine. I sweat, and then I would take a cold shower and rest and that kind of thing. And so every day my temperature would come down. It went from 102.7 down to like 101 maybe, and then down to like 199. And it took me about 3-4 days, and I was afebrile. I lost my sense of smell for a little while, I think a day or two. And I also did some things with oxygen to improve oxygenation. And so within, I would say 5 days, by Saturday, I was afebrile. So it started on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 6 days. And so, what I thought was most helpful was the broths. Drinking hot drinks was very helpful. And the other thing that I learned from this that I found really helpful was when I got congested, lying down, you get super congested. I found lavender oil putting it around your sinuses, it really helped me get rid of the congestion. And I thought that was super valuable because I've tried a lot of different things. I've tried like garlic, I've tried hot and cold contrast and that type of thing, and just doing the lavender. So if you get sick and congested and you try it, please do let me know if the lavender oil helps you. I would be really curious to know. That would be an amazing thing, right? If it helps a lot of people.
Somebody said that they share the protocol with the Bible study group, and I will continue to share with other people. It's just so easy because people, send us so many text or messenger messages or WhatsApp, whatever, even emails. So if they have any problem with upper respiratory infections of any type, all I do is just send the protocol and that will cover everything. Because if we talk, it will take a long time and I perhaps will miss a lot of stuff. And the time is also running out of time all the time. So it's so helpful just to send the protocol.
Are there any natural remedies that you're using that aren't on that antiviral protocol? So Hannah's asking, can you link the protocol here or is it just for students? Oh, no. If you go to medmissionary.com, you can download it for free. It says download the free antiviral protocol here. And so that's on our home page. It's like right below, the initial thing. And so, yes, please go there and download it. It has the onion broth. It has, do it yourself steam sauna. It has the oregano oil inhalations. I did some oregano oil inhalations, and so all of those things I found to be very helpful. When you get sick, you have to get up and out and do those remedies, and then you can get back into bed. Okay, so don't just stay in bed the whole time.
I just want to let everybody know, this morning we did questions and answers also for the Romanian group, and we will be doing the Spanish right after this program. So if you have friends that speak Spanish, you can just tell them to join. If you need the information, we can give you the information here. But also, I want to tell you that, this morning I was talking to this doctor. I did an interview with this doctor. He's a pediatrician from Lima, Peru. And, doctors are extremely busy, right? I mean, super busy. So how can a doctor find time to apply all these, anti-inflammatory diet that we do, protocols, things like that? But, God always opens the ways, and what he's doing, because his family is, is not in the same page, his immediate family. So what he's doing is all the brothers and sisters got together at the house of the father, and they pay somebody to come and prepare the foods for them. And then they hire somebody to do gardening for them. Imagine that. So now they all got together there, they eat together and then go home. Some of the relatives, the brothers that are busy, they come the night before and pick up the food for the next day. So there's always a way. I thought this was very interesting.
Oh, you mean the whole family has asked someone to come and cook for the whole family?
These are for the brothers and sisters, because this doctor has a wife and children, but they're not on the same page at this time. So what they did is that to his brothers, he has another sister that is a physician, and a sister that is a nurse, a brother that is two other brothers that have some type of other professions. 5 of them come to the father's house, and they have a cook that they paying to do all this, and he's a professional cooking. And then they also hire a gardening person for vegetables to grow, because we're teaching in the Spanish program, we're teaching how to have a garden with vegetables.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So they doing all this. So this doctor was having arrhythmias, atrial fibrillation. He was having high blood pressure. He was in the hospital, in and out of ER in the month of July. Wow. So he started following all these principles of the protocol. And finally, they set it up at the father's house. They even remodeled the kitchen. to for them to do this. And now, after a week following the menu faithfully, the arrhythmias are gone. He said no more arrhythmias. He's feeling better. So he stopped going to the hospital. So to me, that was like, wow, that's a super nice story. You know, if people can just team up with other people and just do it. Somehow God is going to provide, giving you a team to move forward, having, you know, doing this work. And perhaps you might be the person that is helping other people that are so busy, and perhaps this can be your work, providing the food, making a meal for a group of people that like to do this program. So there are so many opportunities. Yeah, I've been interviewing a lot of people this week, and every story is so amazing how God is opening the doors for people to do these amazing jobs. Actually, we have a lot of people that want to start lifestyle centers. I just spoke to one lady that came to a lifestyle center last month, and because we always talk about the medical missionary work, about lifestyle centers. So I told her we're going to start training. So she did sign up for the next program last night. And I told him that the membership, we're going to start training how to open a lifestyle center, give them all the information that's needed. And I was telling them that this can be done also at home. If you have one room available with 2 beds, you can do this. Simple enough, but very efficient enough. We tried this program at Black Hills Lifestyle Center with a very, you know, God really blessed us with good testimonies. So this is very exciting work, exciting people getting so excited to do this work. Okay, so here's a question. Sometimes that's not on the protocol, it's just walking. So many benefits to that for upper respiratory infections. Well, the protocol is very good for any type of upper and lower respiratory infections, because, you know, when you do the, actually we have this inhalation part of the protocol that is very, very, very efficient for bronchitis, for pneumonia, you know, for the, you know, issue that we had with COVID, things like that. So the protocol is very, very detailed for those kind of issues.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do you have any experience with viral eye infections? Treating a viral eye infection?
Viral eye.
Viral eye infections. I mean, they're not uncommon. I had my own viral eye infection. And, you know, my viral eye infection, interestingly, it came about because I had chronic sinus issues. And it got worse when I wasn't eating correctly, and I did certain things, like I ate dessert, and that really made my sinus congestion really bad, and I developed that viral eye infection chronically. I'm sorry. So viral eye infections, they can be pretty bad, and I think that it's going to be influenced by your overall immune system, how compromised you are, how activated things are. It actually took me a couple months to get over my viral. And so, but that's not everybody, right? And so everybody is going to be different. I've had viral eye infections where it recovered much faster. And of course, you have natural remedies that you can use. Like some people will be like, oh, I just used lemon juice and it was fine. Or I just did, what are some other things that people do? Like they'll do, like, you know, the charcoal water and this kind of thing. Now that may be, but after going through this myself, I realized, it's good to treat the local problem, but you also want to treat the systemic issue, which is that you have a compromised immune system. And so a lot of times things that happen around the eyes, it happens because you have chronic sinus issues, from what I've seen. And so you really want to.
I know there's the conjunctivitis going around.
Is there?
Yes. And so it could be transmitted across the states.
Really?
And,
I didn't realize this. What kind of
It is-
conjunctivitis is it? Like
It's
you're saying
it's pharyngeal conjunctival fever.
okay, so more of a
So it's
viral
accompanied by
problem.
a sore throat and a fever. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense because you know, we're having a lot of viral issues right now. And so everything that you do that's going to help your overall immune system is going to help. So you got to do those natural remedies. And then I would, because I had such good effect with the lavender oil, for instance, I would use a lavender oil. I would do anything that I could to keep my sinuses clear.
Right.
And so, do the lavender oil, see how that works for you. I experimented with other things because I tried like peppermint oil. Peppermint oil made me a little bit more congested, actually, which was surprising because you would think that, it has such a cooling effect, but I seemed maybe to be more sensitive to that. It was really interesting. And so I would just do things. You can do hot water, hot foot baths and cold towels here so that you can have the vascular help where you do the vasodilation in the feet and cold up here. And what do they call it? A derivative effect of hydrotherapy, as well as some of these things. You could try the lemon juice and see that works, and try some of these other things and see if that helps. There's a lot of natural remedies that people use for conjunctivitis. Mercy, what do you use for?
We use garlic onion broth. Never use raw. You just made a broth out of it, and you can find that in the protocol, also in the antiviral protocol. You can also follow the antiviral protocol because we have that. We have drinks there, but also, something like Dr. Joy said, is to build up your immune system. So eating right, decreasing the sugar, sugary foods. So it has to be an anti-inflammatory diet to have lasting effects. There is a question here is regarding, I am having trouble sleeping for a very long time. Is there any natural remedy we can use to help? Well, what we tried was contra showers morning and evening, and 2 walks a day, like 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon. Also lavender is very helpful to help you relax. At night, massage from up down. Having this massage, somebody can give you to start relaxing. Another thing is you can do a foot bath at night also. So those are better. The most important thing is balancing the circadian rhythm. We had this person that we're helping, a young person, couldn't sleep at all. It was very, very sick. So we have him get up early in the morning, get the first lights in the morning to start balancing the circadian rhythm. And that did it. So every morning going there, get the first light. And also we had to fix the serotonin, right? That's the serotonin that's produced, the melatonin, that's most of it is produced in the intestines. So by the bacteria. So balancing your bacteria will be very important also to sleep well.
And I would imagine that there are different reasons for why people develop insomnia. I remember when I was listening to the testimony that Lee Weller gave about his wife who was having issues with sleep. He said that oat grass, they use, I think, oat grass tea, and that really helped her. That there's nothing that helped her except for this. I think that's what it was, oat grass. And so he really, really believes in doing that. It's been oat straw. Is it oat straw? Thank you, Hannah. Oat straw. Okay, so that was very helpful for them. Now, I have another friend who he had a history of depression, and then when he was medicated for that, he was put on anxiety medicines, and then he needed insomnia medicines. And so once he started on this path of doing things with diet and lifestyle, he was able to get off of all of his medications, but he could not get over the insomnia. And what really helped him was that he was a marine biology person and got a new job where he had to go out to these rivers and swim all day, like looking at the fish and, seeing how healthy everybody was. And he said that he was so tired when he got home that his head would hit the pillow and he would go to sleep. And so that was the only way that he was able to get over his insomnia, was to find a job where he had to work so hard that he was just so tired at the end of the day. So I thought that's a very interesting thing. And then, the other thing is that many of us live kind of a lifestyle where we're up using computers and lights up until we sleep. And so if we're able to cut off our computers and our phones and start getting ready for sleep a couple hours beforehand, keep the lights down, we'll sleep a lot better, get exposure to bright light first thing in the morning, as Mercy said, to reset your circadian rhythm. And also, I know for myself, I used to suffer from insomnia, and my insomnia had to do with the thoughts that I was thinking. I would think these thoughts, I would be worried about things, I'd get excited about new projects, and then I couldn't sleep. And so if we were to be able to, have a prayer and ask the Lord to be with us and just have these restful thoughts and claim God's promises, I think that it'd be helpful, because I haven't suffered with insomnia. I can't remember the last time I had difficulty sleeping now.
Somebody saying had sleeping problems for many years and improved quietly significantly by following the autoimmune diet and sunlight early in the morning. Avoid sugars, fruits, carbs in the evening, and trusting in God. Thank you. That's nice.
I do believe that. And then we have Hannah, who said that E.G. White said hops tea will induce sleep. Yeah, these teas can be very helpful. But we have some people who do all kinds of things and nothing will help them, it seems. And it seems, just getting into a quieter environment, less stressful, all these kinds of things are going to be helpful. Exercise, trying to just put it all together. Look at your lifestyle, look at your diet and see what it is that you can improve, and see, what, as you pray about it, ask the Lord for wisdom. And I know that God will give it to us. Hannah says, if nothing works, then it's another violation of the health laws. A curse shall not causeless come. This is a very difficult thing, because we all are struggling with things, and we all need the Lord's help in keeping these laws of health. And so we all have to pray and ask for wisdom. How is it that we are supposed to live? Amen. So any other questions that we have?
Yeah, if not, yesterday, I was doing a consultation and there was a person that was having rectal bleeding from the colon. And so one of the natural remedies that, we did it at the beginning, because we've been working with this person for 2 months. The first thing we did it at the beginning, of course, it's going to be the diet. Changing the diet is a given. Also the protocol, but something that is directly related to this bleeding was the onion garlic broth. And that stopped the bleeding after doing this for a week. And
just drinking the broth, you're saying just drinking it?
Oh, this was an enema. They were drinking and the enema, but I believe that, of course, they were doing everything plus the enema.
Okay.
And that stopped. So I was commenting this to our friend, Dr. Sweat. He's a GI doctor. I was just sending the message about this because he's very interested in anything lifestyles and GI. And he was saying that he was very excited because he said, yeah, we had to do, we had to do a research on that and show the world that these things work. So, these are very simple things that God has given us for us to recover. So we are very thankful to God for all this. Let's see, any questions in YouTube? Okay, so I guess, go ahead.
Chrissy, I have a question, if I can
Sure.
ask it. I know I talked to you before about this is Patricia, and hot flashes, and I don't have a lot of them, but I'm kind of thinking, and I've done the flax thing and whatever, but I've done that for a long time. And but anyway, I'm just wondering, the question I have is, do you think that, is there any way that that can be caused, that have anything to do with your blood sugars? Like, is it possible? Like, the only thing that I would eat that, would possibly raise the blood sugars is like applesauce or bananas, right? Because I don't eat sugar and stuff like that, and sweets. And so I just kind of think that maybe sometimes it's that maybe causes, but I don't know. Is there a connection with hot flashes and sugars?
Well, I don't believe you eating so much sweets. You will need to check your blood sugar to see if this has an effect at raising your blood sugar. It'll be a good idea to check your blood sugar perhaps before you eat, and maybe
Actually, I did do that. I did do that for probably a month or more. I got the little machine, and
does it raise your blood sugar?
And it seemed like it was fine. Yeah, the range was good. But yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to figure. And the other thing is that I know, like many years ago, back around 2015, I drained my adrenals and I was really down, like exhausted it took me a couple of months to get back. And it was around that time, and I was 57 then. And so that's when it started, with the hot flashes, which is kind of late, really, I thought. And that's why I didn't think like it was to do with menopause. It was more to do with something in my diet or whatever. I don't know. And usually about 2:30 every morning I wake up. 2:30, between 2:30 and 3 o'clock I wake up. And it's not like I don't get in the sweat or anything. It's just like this sensation comes over me.
For that, when you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can go to this light about 3 o'clock in the afternoon to reset your biological clock. So that's usually what the advice to go at 3 o'clock outside. That's what we advise, outside to the light, and try that. Maybe that will help. But you also said you're having hot flashes.
Yeah, that's the thing, that's the problem, right? That's the only problem that I have.
So you're having those hot flashes at 2:30 in the morning, you're saying?
Yeah. And so that's why sometimes I wonder if I do have them sometimes during the day as well, but not very often, but I have a few.
And as far as your blood sugar, you're not having low blood sugar issues?
No.
Yeah.
And when's your last meal?
My last meal, I finished my lunch at 1 o'clock, and then I may have an apple, a bit of fruit or something, supper time.
All I know, sometimes people say that when you wake up for really early in the morning, that kind of thing, it's a sign of hypoglycemia. And so, but that your blood sugar doesn't tend to run low.
No, I did it for about a month, I think. And it seemed fine.
And you checked your blood sugar at different times?
I did, yeah. I think it was
like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours after eating?
Yeah, before.
And do you ever check it like when you wake up with those flashes in the morning?
No.
I guess you could do that and
Yeah.
see if it's related at all, if you think.
I would
Yeah.
I would check my blood, see how your thyroid is. People with unbalanced thyroid, sometimes they have insomnia. So we'll check it out, see how that is. Your adrenals also, something that really helps with the adrenals is taking a deep breath. We call it 4 to 6. Take a deep breath, hold it for 2 seconds, and exhale for 6 seconds. And you repeat that 10 times. And you do it every hour when you're stressed out, when you cannot relax or when you're sick for a long time, because, that itself make you, release a lot of the cortisol, all those, the glands are actively functioning without rest. This sympathetic system is working actively. So,
I didn't have a problem with the adrenal cells since then.
Mhm.
You have had the problems with the adrenal since then?
No, I haven't.
You
No, I
have,
kinda
but
had that once.
you've gotten your adrenals checked and your adrenals are all functioning fine now?
Yeah, that was kind of because I was totally overdoing it at the time, and I totally drained myself, and I was down, like I couldn't. Yeah.
Right. But I'm just
And-
wondering, I mean, it could
But
be
then I
like
got back. I got back to where I'm
where you were
fine.
before.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems that for those of us who have adrenal issues, that there's always something underlying adrenal wise.
So I will do a full panel of tests, lab tests, to see what the issue might be, perhaps the CRP-ESR, if there is some inflammation going on. So you are taking 4 tablespoons of flaxseed every morning?
Yeah, every day. Yeah.
And do you take any herbs for these hormonal things at all? Have you tried any of the herbs?
I use some herbs on and off, like just in a tea and whatever. And actually, I just started green juicing the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
Very good. That might make the difference.
Yeah.
So you take turmeric every day?
I do.
Okay, and do the garlic lemon drink 2 meals a day?
I do it once a day.
Okay, so you're in the maintenance, and perhaps you how about the onion broth?
No, I don't usually do that unless, if I was sick or if I had the flu or something, I do. But
It might be a good idea for maybe 5 days, do that, good amounts.
And then did you get your hormones checked?
I did. I had thyroid, like I usually
No,
every year I go out.
like your estrogen, progesterone, pregnenolone, DHEA.
Well, usually what they say when you go, you ask to get everything, your thyroid. Yes. And I'd say, well, did you check a certain thing? They said, well, we'll do that. We only do that if something shows up on the other, I don't know.
Well, you might want to just order it on your own. You can order it from like Ulta Labs, or go to a different provider who does that kind of thing, because different providers do different things, and so
Yeah.
I would get those other things checked out, because just because your thyroid is okay doesn't mean that your other hormones are going to be okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm in Canada, so I'm not sure where there is a place. I'm sure there must be somewhere where you can
order your own.
Yeah.
Maybe Google that. How can I order my own labs? Because we have that in the United States.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Okay.
There is another question.
Thank you.
Here.
Mhm.
There is another question about how about using raw onion, because we mentioned about doing the tea that is it's a tea, it's cooked onion. Yeah, you can do. We also recommend that you do at least 1/4 onion raw, adding into your salads, and that will be wonderful too. So we do the combination. We don't do for doing enemas, we wouldn't do anything raw because it will be kind of rough. Also, even for poultices, onion, we just do the layers of onion, just apply whatever the skin problem is, or the joint, we do that way, but we wouldn't shred it, the onion, put it in there, because it's a little rough. It can create a lot of redness. I have one person that it really irritated the skin. So we have to be careful that way. But you can, for eating raw onion will be great at lunch. So that will help even more.
Lavinia had a question. Any suggestions for low iron for postmenopausal women?
For low iron, I will do molasses. Easy use honey, I will do molasses, maybe 1 tablespoon a day into your cereal. Also, dates are very good to raise the iron. So, but when you do this, because it's very sweet, I will add it garlic in my meals. So I want to balance the bacteria, because then it will create another problem. But that has worked really well for a lot of people. Those two things, the dates and the molasses.
So I just, as somebody who has some weird issues, I feel like I just need to clarify, iron can be kind of a complicated issue, because you can have low iron because, when I was going through medical school, they said, if you have low iron, it means that you are bleeding out. Probably, like you probably have a few areas in your gut that are bleeding, and you have microscopic blood in your stool, and so they really wanted you to test for blood in the stool and that type of thing. So that was your diagnosis until proven otherwise. I don't know if there's any nurses here, doctors here who would agree. Mercy, would you agree that when you were going to medical
it
school?
I think it's more issues. It can be also my iron was
No, I understand that, but I'm talking about when you go to the doctor, they'll say when you're older, that you're more likely to have an issue where you have microscopic bleeding. That's what they're concerned about.
Anemia, check for anemia.
Yes, anemia, but that's what we're talking about. Like if you have anemia, most doctors will say you got to check for where's the source of bleeding. And then for us also, we're also concerned with malabsorption because of gut damage, right? So Mercy, that's what Mercy was saying, right?
Yeah. So it can be malabsorption. It can be also malnutrition, that you're not eating healthy. So there's no source of iron when you're eating. So that's another thing. But usually when you are pregnant, you have baby, you probably had a lot of bleeding. So your hemoglobin is down. So I will build it up. Trying that, the molasses.
But this is a postmenopausal lady. So
I thought it was after
postmenopause.
Postmenopause. Okay.
Yes.
So probably it's malabsorption issue. Same thing, postmenopause people, they have also problems with osteoporosis. Same thing, you're not absorbing minerals well, you're not absorbing iron well. So it's usually, if there is no bleeding, it's probably malabsorption.
Now, this is the thing, you can have normal iron levels. Like I have normal iron levels, so I don't look anemic, but I have extremely low ferritin levels. And ferritin is the storage form of iron. I'm not a specialist, an expert in this, but just from what I've seen, it's kind of complicated. And so trying to figure out why that's happening, why you're not storing, there can be a number of different things. And one thing that I'm looking into for myself is how my genetics are playing into this. I don't know if, I know Mercy knows, but I don't know if everybody here has heard of like MTHFR. And some of these pathways, some of these enzymes for these metabolic pathways and detox pathways, they have to get addressed. And so if they're not working that well, then you might have issues with all of these things.
So we start with the simple things, and then we'll go into the more deep things if that's not working. Like for me, it wasn't like eating, it wasn't going to solve the problem just eating molasses and, and dates, because my problem was I was having serious leaky gut because I was even taking iron, it didn't raise it. So it was it was leaky gut, the issue, malabsorption. So I will start with that, fix your leaky gut, do these onion broths and aloe vera, eat anti-inflammatory foods, remove foods like foods that are genetically modified, especially gluten is a big link to leaky gut. And go with the simple things, changes. If everything is good, it's good. If not, then you go to deeper things. Yeah, so I will start that way. There is a question, is onion skin okay to use on spider bites? I will do charcoal, right?
I would do charcoal.
That is just perfect. Charcoal will be immediately. I mean, you just grab a little charcoal, put a little water, make a little paste, put in the area, and that's super helpful. Do it as soon as you can.
And Rose says pawpaw leaves blended, strained, helps with low blood. Are you meaning with the iron issue, pawpaw leaves? I've never seen a pawpaw fruit. I've heard of it, and I know that a lot of people are growing it. I have no idea what it tastes like or it looks like. I've heard it grows even out here in the Northwest. So I'm very curious about the pawpaw.
Yeah, never heard about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have any other questions? You can lift up your hand or just type your questions. Is ginger poultice good for plantar fasciitis?
Okay, plantar fasciitis. I don't know if I would just be trying to depend upon a poultice or a natural remedy like that, because I think it happens for a number of different reasons. It can happen because you have, neck problems. You can have plantar fasciitis from that. So it's not just something that's localized to your foot and having to stretch that out and exercise that, although that's helpful. So I've not tried a ginger poultice for pain. Have you tried a ginger poultice for pain, Mercy?
No, I have not tried ginger poultice for pain. I will try onion poultice. It's just the layers of the onion, put it in the area and wrap it up every night. It helps with neurological issues and also for arthritis. So that will be the first thing I will try to see if that works. And then I'll keep trying different type of poultices till I find something that works bad. We have to figure it out. What is this causing? What is the inflammation? Is it because, so what is the reason of this? Or it just happens? Can you type it in there?
Yeah, a lot of times people don't know. But as you know, I know that when I had my neck issues and the spinal cord injury and that kind of thing, that it started issues with plantar fasciitis. And if my neck is out, I will have issues with the plantar fasciitis and other things. So just understand that your musculoskeletal system, the myofascia, is connected from your feet all the way up to your tongue. And so if you have something that is stuck somewhere along the way, it can contribute downstream as well. So just to be aware of that, because I don't want you to just think, oh, this poultice should work. It will help. I mean, like putting on essential oils and anti-inflammatory compounds and this kind of thing, these are all going to be helpful short term. DMSO, that'll be helpful, but we have to really figure out why that's happening and structurally. My husband just started to have this problem. So, I mean, you find out, when did it start? Did he wake up feeling, stiff or, this kind of thing? Did he get a new bed, new mattress, new job, new, what's he doing? And so
diaper, shoes, food, the structure of the food it can be an overuse. That's what they say. But it seems that it's inflammation there. I will just put some.
Oh, it is inflammation there.
Anti-inflammatory.
It is.
Hopefully.
I mean, all these things,
Right.
anti-inflammatory, are going to be helpful, but you do want to try to figure out what is what has caused it, because it is, I think it's a, structural functional issue. And so,
Yeah.
you don't want to just put a Band-Aid on it personally. I think. Anyone else have a question that they
There is a question, I think, here in YouTube. I have autoimmune disorder accompanied with anemia, and my rheumatologist said it is related to the high inflammation. Yeah, exactly. It is high inflammation in leaky gut, probably imbalance of the bacteria. So all that is very important to address.
Yeah, so what we would recommend doing with, if you're somebody that has a lot of inflammation, then we want to do something about that inflammation. Typically, we start with the diet and the lifestyle. And so that's why we recommend going plant-based, soaking and sprouting your food to make digestion as easy as possible. And then your immune system has more energy, more reserve to go out and do the things that it needs to do. And so that's what we try to do. We try to avoid the toxins. We try to avoid the chemicals that are in a lot of these foods. And then we try to detox, open up the detox pathways, whether it's through the skin with sweating and this kind of thing, or through the GI system with enemas, through breathing, exercise, and this type of thing. So we're doing a lot of this naturally with your diet, with your lifestyle, and a lot of people will get significantly better just with these simple things. And then, if you have other things that you have to tweak, you'll keep on looking further and, doing more things, but at least to start with the basics, the diet and the lifestyle. So I hope that would be helpful.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I just wanted to say congratulations to Joyce, because a long time ago when she got engaged, you guys came on and we were all so excited she got engaged.
Well,
and
Patricia, that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
But you just said my husband.
I did?
She was reading about
I was reading some.
Oh, I thought, oh, wonderful. She got married.
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
Oh,
that's so sweet of you.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. That's
for
okay.
bringing that up.
No, it's better than other people might have had that question too. So.
Oh, okay. The Lord has the Lord has other plans.
The Lord has other plans. The Lord has other plans.
Yes. God bless you then.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
There's another question. It is okay to juice for 5 days after 3 days of water fast?
Is it okay to juice for 5 days after 3 days of water fast?
I don't see why not. 5 days is a little rough fasting, for 5 days. A lot of people do. I mean, not many, I should say. Some people do it and they're fine. If you're underweight, I wouldn't not do that. But it's okay. 5 days is fine. I don't see why not.
I would just be careful.
I
would be careful because when you water fast, I water fasted for 5 days and then I broke back into food. That was hard on my system. And so 3 days of a water fast, those are the hardest days, right? The 3 first days of water fasting are the hardest. Now you're going to start juice fasting. I think, especially if you're prone to sugar issues, you want to be careful, especially with the composition of your juice, and make sure that it's not going to drive your blood sugar up too high. Because there have been times that I juice fast and then I check my blood sugar. My blood sugar is high after the juice, especially if you have too many carrots in it or beets or that kind of thing. And so in the protocol we call for 30% carrot or beets versus 50% carrots or beets. And so that might make a difference for you, but just be careful that your blood sugar is not going to be spiking and that kind of thing.
Mhm. Okay, any other questions? I don't think we have questions on YouTube.
And then when you break back into food, I would break back into it as if I was doing a water fast. You typically, the rule of thumb for water fasting is that you take half the amount of time that you water fasted, and that's the amount of time you take to break back into food, and you use very, very easy to assimilate foods. And at True North, they were doing a lot of steamed zucchini and squashes and that kind of thing for the water fasting. Whatever it is you do, make it sure it's just very simple and easy for your body to digest. And so, yeah, Mercy likes to do raw foods. Some people will just do one type of fruit or vegetable or that kind of thing. Mercy, how would you break back into a food?
So,
afterwards?
the reason we do liquid fast is because we want to cleanse. It's a cleansing process. So we do the liquids, we do enemas, we do internal poultices, we do tinctures to cleanse the different organs. So when we start eating small amounts. The first meal is a salad, and we do avocado stuff and few crackers. And the reason we do raw food is because now that the body's cleansed, now we want to fill with good bacteria. So this is the time to fill it with good bacteria. So we do few days of raw food just to balance the microbiome. And then we start, after the last couple of days, we added some cooked foods. So we do the 70% raw, 30% cooked. So, everything is low sugar. Everything we do is, low, because we want to balance the bacteria. It seems that one of the main issues in any kind of health conditions is because the bacteria is very imbalanced. They're just finding out so many studies about that. Even for a stroke. For a stroke, they said that you have to balance the bacteria in order for the person to recover. Imagine, neurologically, it has a big impact. And same thing with any problems with the digestive system is the bacteria is unbalanced. That's why the bad bacteria is eating your the mucus there and causing serious issues. So a lot of the diseases, that also the connection within the digestive system and the brain, they're linked to the imbalance of the bacteria. So that's the reason we do raw foods after the fast to rebuild it, and then we go to a regular diet. That's going to be the therapeutic diet, which is what we teach in the class, where we're going to maintain that for 2 to 4 months. And the reason is because until all the symptoms are gone. Today I was talking to this, I was just saying that to this doctor, I was having arrhythmias. Imagine in 1 week fixing the arrhythmias. And I believe it also is because, eating these foods is so clean and so anti-inflammatory. And there is a lot of raw foods also that people are not used to. So this is being, because you can change your bacteria even in 24 hours. So people can recover even in a few days, not totally recover, but they can feel the symptoms start going away. So I guess that's the way we do in our lifestyle center. Okay, there's no more questions. We have 4 more minutes. If you have other questions, you can just lift up your hand or just start speaking. Can we explain a little bit of our class? Maybe this is a good time.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're having a class coming up on August the 20th. And the first class is about doing a lifestyle evaluation. The second class, we teach you a 4-day therapeutic menu that you're going to repeat it, and you're going to start following that until the symptoms disappear. Usually it's about 2 to 4 months. The next class, we teach you the protocol, which is the super healing foods, how to do the onion broth, the garlic lemon, charcoal, turmeric, and aloe vera, things like that, that really helps even more to start the process of recovery. Then we teach you about natural remedies. So that's the 4th class, and those classes are live on Sundays. And then we have a difficult conditions. That's the 5th class, what to do to tweak, the program. And then the last class is about how you can help other people. How do you can do a part-time job if you wanted, like helping somebody recover, or things like that. So that's the program. And then we have also lectures on health lectures. There are about 21, I believe, health lectures, very key lectures about leaky gut, about microbiome, about anti-inflammatory foods, so inflammatory foods. Dr. Joyce does those classes. Then we do also food demonstrations for every dish that we have it in the therapeutic menu. Then we have also a video on natural remedies. We have questions and answers. When we do the live class, it is 2 hours. In the last 30 minutes, we answer questions. And so, we hope the way we do is because what we wanted is to be very practical. So people will know what to do and not guess, or they will, because there is programs that you don't know how to put it together. You have such a great information of all kinds, but you don't know how to put it together. So we give you a menu that's ready to go, protocols ready to go, and we also explain the reason why we do all these things. And the last thing is that we have also a program like continuing education, and so this is a year membership. And we just started for the Spanish program. We started training how to do lifestyle centers. So we're going to start doing this for English too. So people can do it, like I said at the beginning, they can do it even if they have one room in the houses. So we're going to start that training. And also there is a lot of stuff coming up that we're working behind the scenes, to give you the tools to not just for your own benefit, but also to help other people that will like to, that are sick and they need help. And this is only the right arm, that opens the door for the gospel message. So we hope that you join us for this August 20, the next class. And so you have friends in Spanish also. We have the class starting on the 20th. In the Romanian, what time is Romanian class? I forgot. The next week, right? I think they always start a week after.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we don't have any more questions. And thank you so much for the interaction.
Thank you for being here, everybody. For those of you who've taken our class, and I think we had one more question by iPad, but do you have to go, Mercy?
No, I had to go to the Spanish